Hi, Becky. How are you doing?
Fine. How are you?
I'm doing really good. Um, you decided that you wanted to discuss about Parkinson's disease. So, if you could you tell us a little bit about when you found out and how long ago that was?
I found out in 1997 in Henderson, Texas, and they said I have idiopathic Parkinson's disease, which means they don't know what caused it. It could have been from head injuries or car accidents or inhaling of toxic substances, stuff like that. So,
Professional uh, pianist,
hmm yep,
working as a pianist.
yeah, I was a nurse.
How did you, as a person, to find out you had Parkinson's? How did you when you found out?
I just didn't believe. I was mostly into. I would have had Parkinson's is an old, it's not a young disease. I just kept going.
How old were you?
Uh, born 51 or 97, I think. I was 46, something like that.
Yeah,
hmm
yeah. That's pretty young. 46. You make me feel really old now. I guess we are kind of old, aren't we?
Well, I
Oh
mean,
man,
so because I say a number, it's just a number. It's not a state of mind. You know,
that's
you can.
true. That's true. Well, when they first found out, what type of symptoms were you having at that time?
I was having wonderful symptoms. My fingers would twitch, my thumb would move, my writing went from large to small. Uh, uh, and when I walked, my feet would drag, and my arms would swing, and I started having balancing problems. And from then on, it was like that way from then on. And you go through periods of you seem like you're getting better, but then medicine doesn't work so good. So you have to try something different.
So how did your symptoms progress over the years? How long has it been since you had Parkinson's now? How many years have you had Parkinson's and how did it progress from the beginning to where you're at now?
I've had it since 1997. I was diagnosed, and about every 5 years it starts changing. But I didn't have any trouble with dementia. They say 50% of the people that have Parkinson's get dementia. That's at one out of every two people. So what happens is your cerebellum and frontal thinking and all the balance it's all up front. It's not getting the messages because they don't have enough dopamine to power the message from my foot to my leg to say. So you give artificial dopamine. You put artificial dopamine in there, and it can work pretty good for a while. But something will happen. They'll have hallucinations because if you take too much cinnamon, your body says, tries to throw it off. So, and then you start falling. That's not the fun part. And as long as you don't break any important bones, you have to just be careful because you lose your sense of balance. And Parkinson says that for me. As Michael J. Fox said, Parkinson's is a gift that people are taking. you know, and, and then you continue on down the road and you might have dyskinesias because you've taken the Parkinson's medicines for so long. So they give you a Amantadine, and that's supposed to stop the episodes of dyskinesia, but it doesn't always work. So you just go on down, and the doctor has you come in and see him, and then he gives you a prescription for another pill and another. Way I tried it on a patch that made my skin break out. I tried it. Now I'm trying with Apican, which is a morphine derivative, and it's to help with you when you're freezing. In other words, you can't move. It's very difficult to move, and you can't get up off the chair and stuff like that. You have to ask for help. And it just keeps progressing that way until the end. Everybody's different, you know. It's like you like vanilla cake and I like chocolate cake. We just have different ingredients, you know, and they try to make the best cake for each person. That's basically what it is. That will help them make it through the day. And that's all I know about it.
That sounds pretty rough. It sounds pretty rough. How did you feel when you had to start getting assistance from people to help you and you know, having to turn to walkers and, you know.
It didn't matter about that because I broke my hip a few years later. I broke my hip and I had to stay off of it and I couldn't walk and it was very difficult. So I know about pain. We learn about pain from falling down. And I broke my kneecap after that. This last time I went to the hospital, it was the biggest waste of learning I've ever.
How is it the biggest waste of money?
The insurance company pays for everything, but this is we have a good insurance company. But you have to pay the deductibles, and we got to pay 20% of whatever happens. And we felt like we needed, how can they justify they took 2 MRIs in my brain, and they didn't take my blood. They gave my husband something to eat, and they charged me $6,000 to tell me that I already had Parkinson's. I knew that, and I didn't have it too. So the hallucinations I was having was a side effect of taking all these medicines.
Yeah. What type of hallucinations did you have? Did you see animals? Did you see people? I mean.
Oh yeah, I saw little children and kids and dogs, you know, little dogs and cats and toys and stuff. I kept it that way so that I wouldn't get scared. I guess in my mind, if I say babies and buggy bumpers, baby buggy bumpers, then I won't get scared. You know?
Okay. Yeah. So you feel pretty vulnerable with your Parkinson's disease, correct?
Oh yeah. I go through times where I'm really strong and I feel like I'm trying to do the best I can. But sometimes I feel negative and my mom told me, you have to be more positive, Becky. And I said, I can't be more positive, Mom. I'm more negative.
Yeah, well, you say that, Becky, but I've known you for how many years now? Since what, 1989? And through that whole time, after you found out you had Parkinson's, you kept your humor. You kept your humor.
I kept the what?
Your humor.
Mm-hmm.
Humor.
Yeah, I started.
H-U-M-O-R, humor.
2000, when I turned 65 this last year, I lost my sense of humor.
Did you really? I can't believe that. As many times as we've talked, you still come up with some of the funniest jokes, and I mean, you just laugh all the time. You love music. I mean, you're just in with it. You stay positive. You've really inspired me over the years.
Well, thank you. I didn't know that. I thought I pissed you off more than inspired you.
Hey, anything POs me. Maybe we should bleep that. I don't know, man. Say PO'd.
You hear what I said?
Who cares, huh?
My father left when I was like 3 and my brother was 1. Yeah. And he had a corny sense of humor, and he loved to entertain children. He would take quarters out from behind their ear, and go, here, I got a quarter behind you want it? And then he'd take their nose, somebody's nose off and say, look, I got their nose. And they go, give it back. And, no. And he would tell some jokes, you know. It was funny. He'd go to the local diner, and all his buddies or his cohorts were there. The mayor of the town where he lived in Spring Lake, Michigan. His dad's one daughter, Ruthie, my half-sister, she lives in Lansing. She's getting to retire. She retired, and I think her husband retired a couple of years ago. But my dad had a good sense of humor. He liked to make people laugh, too. He really did. But my dad had a good sense of humor. He liked to make people laugh, too. He really did.
Well, that must be who you got your humor from.
Huh?
That must be who you got your humor from.
Yeah, not my mom. My mom tries to tell jokes, and she wrecks them before she gets to the end. I mean, that's like I do.
Yeah, that's how I am. I can't tell a joke for anything. I mess them up. If somebody tells me a joke and I want to repeat it to someone, it does not have the same effect as when I was told the joke.
Why did the chicken cross the street? It would go back in the middle and go back to the other side. It's a dirty double crosses. Dirty double.
I have a couple more questions for you if you feel up to it.
Okay.
Did you seek support groups after you found out? When did you start trying to get into support groups?
When we lived over there in Fort Worth, we lived on White Settlement. I started
Yeah,
going
did
support.
you find was it an actual Parkinson's disease support group?
Yeah, they had a good one on Broadway in Fort Worth. The trouble is that if you don't drive anymore, you have to get a ride from somebody, and it's difficult because everybody's going their own way, But it would be worth it to go to a meeting, pay the money, get a ride, get me about $70, but it would be worth it because they have programs, exercising, they caregivers, they have special classes for the caregivers so they don't get left out. That's a hard job. Taking care of somebody that's totally dependent on you is a very hard job. People say, oh, no, that's really easy for me. Well, they haven't hit the hard spots yet because it gets very difficult. And if you don't be careful, you're going to tire yourself out. It says, take care of yourself first so that you can take care of other people.
So you had to become more dependent, especially when it came to transportation. Yeah, makes it kind of hard. You miss driving, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I tried to drive yesterday, and I couldn't do it. I decided I better not do that again because my feet actually went out, and they weren't functioning at all. I couldn't feel the brake.
How do you feel about having others transport you now?
I have to get a bus or a senior center bus. And you have to give them 24-hour notice, and they'll come and pick you up, take you to play bingo, and then you go home at noon.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what have you been experiencing lately with your Parkinson's disease?
So it's changing. It's more difficult to operate. I just freeze when I go to the sink. I freeze, my brain stops. So then you have to overcome it by stepping sideways or stepping backwards or start dancing, or grab onto something and pull yourself forward so you can get out of that freeze. It's called a freeze. I give yourself a shot. You got to take medicine for that. It's the nausea because that stuff makes you very nauseated. That's a half hour before the shot. So you got all these timing things that can work in there.
So, like, you could be doing dishes and then freeze right at the sink.
Mm-hmm. Usually when I come upon it and come and stop, then I'm stuck there. My feet feel like they're in sand, and the socks are full of sand.
You feel like your socks are full of sand at those times?
When you're walking.
And you're just weighted down, huh? Wow.
Yeah.
That's something else. Well, anything special you'd like to tell people that may be diagnosed with Parkinson's, like first time, people that are just finding out they have Parkinson's disease? What can you do to
Start reading.
maybe?
Read everything possible. Because there's a lot of misinformation. Just read as much as you can handle at one time. Don't try to read up on everything because you'll drive yourself crazy. I found that out. I was a nurse, so my need for knowledge is a little bit high with other people. But I like to know what's going on in the medical field. And I might have a chance to be in a trial or something and get my stem cells transferred and then have a new brain and be able to walk without falling down. That would be great.
That would be fantastic, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yes, ma'am.
Well, I sure love you.
I love you too.
I